Ukraine.
Ukraine is now a nation at war.
Large numbers of Ukrainian casualties.
Ukraine marks 1 year of war.
Roughly 13 million people have been displaced.
I've always been fascinated by seeing things with my own eyes. While reading the news, I'm always thinking, how does the reality feel like? And this is not because I would have general distrust towards the news, but because of the fact that even at its best, the news can present you only a small frame of the reality. Let me do another Casey Neistat thing. All right, the news focus mainly on facts. Numbers, pictures, quotes, reports, whatever, but seeing things with your own eyes will let you experience the feeling of it. And that is what gives the soul to the news story and an emotional perspective over the facts. And that's what I'm going for. I'm starting to be a little bit nervous. It's still a country at war. We are getting closer to the border. And look at this amount of trucks. It's crazy. It took around 2 hours to get through the border, which is considerably good. But now it's 12 o'clock local time, which means the curfew is in place in Lviv, where I should be headed. So I'm sleeping in my car, literally like 50 meters from the last security check. See you tomorrow, I guess. We've been reading the news about the war now for over 500 days every day, and our brains get used to it. And I feel like for us who are not directly concerned, the facts about the war do not move us anymore. Not in the way that the reality would deserve, the reality of those people who are living the tragedy every day.
I have now checked in for the night, so I'm gonna walk to the other side of the city to see something.
At this point I have to jump a little bit to my later thoughts. After talking with several Ukrainians during and after the trip and seeing how sensitive topic the war obviously is, I realized I need to be very careful not to use other people's suffering as entertainment. As I went to see this place which a Russian missile hit 2 weeks earlier, I wasn't really allowed to film, and also that made me rethink how to share my experiences as respectfully as possible. This is why I have decided not to showcase the bombing site and such, but rather focus on people's experiences. I apologize for the poor video coverage of that neighborhood, but I sensed that the air was quite sensitive over there. Lots of soldiers, people were not smiling, especially the ones who were living in that building, and I can see why. My first impression of the city was that everything looks quite normal.
Yes.
Families playing around, people walking in the park, laughing, everything running seemingly normally. But I don't think that people actually take it that lightly, even though they say that it's quite normal. So I should talk to people to find out what they really feel like. I'm a Finn, I don't know how to talk to people. I'll try to do it. As I was strolling around the city, I was very surprised by the vibe that the city gave me. Apart from the plentiful presence of soldiers and injured men, on the outside there was no way to tell that this nation is in war. In fact, it indeed seemed that the people are living their life as normally as it could ever be. There was clearly even quite a number of people who were tourists, probably other Ukrainians coming to the city for their holidays. And I didn't know what to think or feel about all of this. I have to be honest with you guys. I'm kind of lost with my thoughts here. I came here with this assumption that I can smell the war even though the front line is hundreds of kilometers away. No, I'm not smelling anything here. It could be just another European city. More soldiers. And after all, I'm pretty confused with all of this. And I didn't believe what I saw. It didn't make sense. I still had to find someone who to talk with. Someone who would help me understand how the life can look like this despite everything that is going on. As the night started to fall, I returned to the central square that was full of people. And there, all of a sudden, I finally saw it. A deeper spectrum of human emotions. There was joy. There was love. But there was also sorrow in the air. And there was hate too. Of course, everybody knows what the situation is. But people won't change when the circumstances do. We still carry all the same emotions. And what was so beautiful to see, life, it just always goes on. In this city it looks like this, in the front line, probably very different. It's impossible to understand the horrors of war without actually being there, without losing someone. But when I looked at these people, their joy and their sorrow, it was so touching. My heart melted, and since then it has not been the same. At a wall where refugees had put notes on their home cities, I finally got explained the looks of the city.
The thing is, like, people are still trying to find the happiness in all of this craziness. They're trying to come here. Like, if people just sit home and totally shut down and like not even come out, like sometimes you have to like force yourself, get dressed, go and see who you can help. Because like by seeing who you can help, it's kind of like, okay, I see the purpose in life. I can help somebody. Today we went to the cemetery. My friend of mine who was in the front line, he died. He was only 28. And there was a lady who was crying in the grave just to talk to her and to say, hey, it's going to be okay.
Today, yes, it is war. We are crying with our soldiers and we are enjoy when we are alive now. You know, it's two things. People are happy and people are crying for their child, for their soldiers, and they are happy and they are crying. I think, yes, I am afraid little, but it's not so terrible, And there are our boys in the front line, and they died. They died, and they help us to live.
It is 12 o'clock. Let's conclude some thoughts tomorrow. It's been very beautiful having this first-hand experience in Ukraine. Seeing all these people carrying on with their beautiful normal life, but also having a little bite of the fear and sorrow that they carry. I was talking about this news/own experience thing. These are already worn out, but I've really had a relatable dimension to the news in here. It's not just about the country of Ukraine, the statistics, politics, economics. It's about these streets and these people. Nazar, Zana, their sons and friends in the front line. Sons and friends they might never see again. This is the war.